You bundle up in layers, hibernate indoors, and watch the scale creep up every winter. Sound familiar? You've tried keto, intermittent fasting, even those brutal morning workouts in the freezing cold. Yet here's something that might completely shift how you think about winter weight gain. While Americans gain an average of 2 to 3 kilograms every winter, people in Nordic countries, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland, experience months of near-total darkness, bone-chilling temperatures that would make a polar bear shiver, and comfort food traditions that would make any food lover jealous. Yet they maintain some of the world's lowest obesity rates year-round. Finland has an obesity rate of just 17% compared to America's 36%. Norway sits at 15%. These aren't people with superhuman willpower or magical genetics. They're navigating 4 to 6 months of darkness and temperatures that force most of us to question our life choices. So what's their secret? And more importantly, what if everything we believe about winter weight management is backwards? Here's what Nordic cultures discovered centuries ago that modern science is only now catching up to. You don't fight winter. You dance with it. While American culture treats winter like a battle to be won, Nordic societies learned something profound. They learned to work with their biology instead of against it. Your body isn't broken when winter arrives. It's responding exactly as evolution programmed it to. When daylight disappears and temperatures drop, your brain triggers ancient survival mechanisms: increased appetite, slowed metabolism, carbohydrate cravings. It's all designed to help you survive winter. The problem isn't your biology. The problem is that we've been approaching winter with a summer mindset. What if I told you that Nordic cultures don't view comfort food as failure? They view it as fuel for thriving in challenging conditions. This mindset shift alone transforms your relationship with seasonal eating. Let me share something that might sound counterintuitive. Research from the University of Copenhagen reveals that people who embrace seasonal rhythms, rather than fighting them, show better metabolic stability throughout the year. When you align your habits with natural cycles instead of imposing summer routines on winter biology, your body stops fighting back. This is where Nordic wisdom becomes fascinating. While Americans approach winter with restriction and punishment, Scandinavians embrace what they call lagom, a Swedish concept meaning just right, and hygge, the Danish art of cozy contentment. This isn't about deprivation. It's about finding balance in harmony with the seasons. In Nordic cultures, winter isn't the enemy of health. It's an opportunity for deeper nourishment and intentional living. They've developed 8 specific practices that work with winter biology rather than against it. And the beautiful part? These aren't extreme measures or complicated systems. They're gentle adaptations that enhance your life rather than demanding sacrifice. Let's explore how they do it. Strategic comfort food integration. Here's where Nordic culture gets really interesting. They don't eliminate comfort foods, they optimize them. Walk into any Norwegian kitchen during winter, and you'll find hearty fish stews simmering on the stove. Swedish families gather around root vegetable casseroles that have been perfected over generations. Finnish households prepare warming soups with ingredients that sound like poetry: juniper berries, wild mushrooms, root vegetables that have survived months of frost. The secret isn't what they avoid, it's how they combine. Traditional Nordic winter meals provide sustained energy without the blood sugar crashes that leave you reaching for more food an hour later. They've mastered the art of combining warming spices, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates in precise ratios that satisfy winter cravings while maintaining metabolic balance. Think about this. While American winter comfort food often means processed options that spike your blood sugar and leave you hungry again quickly, Nordic comfort food is designed to nourish deeply and satisfy completely. A traditional Norwegian fish stew with root vegetables and warming spices like cardamom and dill doesn't just fill you up, it provides the sustained energy your body actually needs during cold months. Your adaptation strategy? Replace one processed comfort food each week with what I call a Nordic-style version. Think hearty soups with root vegetables, warming spices like cinnamon and cardamom, and quality proteins that keep you satisfied for hours, not minutes. Light therapy rituals. Every Nordic home tells a story about understanding biology. Walk through Stockholm in January, and you'll notice something remarkable. Bright lamps everywhere. Not just any lamps, specific light therapy devices that mimic summer sunlight, strategically placed where families have their morning routines. This isn't just about mood, though that's certainly part of it. Light exposure at specific times regulates hormones that control hunger and fat storage. While Americans often struggle with winter cravings and sluggish metabolism, Scandinavians have been using light to maintain their summer metabolism for decades. The science behind this is fascinating. Your circadian rhythm doesn't just control sleep. It orchestrates your entire metabolic symphony. When winter darkness disrupts these rhythms, your body thinks it needs to conserve energy and store fat. Strategic light exposure in the morning tells your body that summer metabolism is still needed. Unlike expensive gym memberships or complicated diet plans, this Nordic practice costs less than a nice dinner out, but provides benefits all winter long. 20 minutes of 10,000 lux light exposure during your morning routine can prevent the metabolic slowdown that leads to winter weight gain. Your morning light ritual doesn't need to be complicated. Nordic families often combine light therapy with breakfast or reading time, making it a pleasant part of their daily rhythm rather than another task to complete. The sacred art of fika Swedish culture has given the world something beautiful, the concept of fika. But here's what most people misunderstand about it. Fika isn't just about coffee and pastries. It's about creating designated times for mindful consumption that prevent the all-day grazing patterns that derail winter wellness. Picture this. Instead of mindlessly snacking throughout the day, a bite here, a nibble there, unconscious eating while working or watching television. Swedish culture creates sacred moments for treats. One intentional pause in the afternoon where a pastry or cookie is eaten slowly, savored completely, and enjoyed without guilt or distraction. This is cultural genius masquerading as simple tradition. By scheduling specific moments for treats instead of allowing random snacking, Nordic cultures satisfy cravings without derailing metabolic health. When you eat mindfully and designate specific times for indulgence, you actually need less food to feel satisfied. The psychological impact is profound. Instead of fighting cravings all day or feeling guilty about wanting comfort foods, you have permission to enjoy them, just at designated times and with full attention. This transforms your relationship with food from restriction and guilt to anticipation and pleasure. Your fika practice could be as simple as choosing one moment daily for a mindful treat, eaten without distractions, savored completely, and enjoyed as a purposeful break, rather than unconscious consumption. Metabolic activation. Through cold Finnish culture has perfected something that sounds extreme, but is actually gentle. Controlled cold exposure. From traditional saunas followed by cold plunges to Norwegian ice baths, these practices aren't about suffering. They're about activating your body's natural heating systems. Here's the science that makes this fascinating. Regular cold exposure increases brown fat, the type of fat tissue that burns calories to generate heat. Unlike regular fat that stores energy, brown fat is metabolically active, burning calories even when you're resting. Even brief cold exposure can boost your metabolism by up to 15%. But Nordic cold practices aren't about shocking your system. They're progressive, gentle, and often combined with warming activities like saunas. The goal isn't to suffer through cold. It's to train your body to generate more heat naturally. This metabolic activation continues long after the cold exposure ends. Your body becomes more efficient at generating heat, which means more calories burned throughout the day. It's like upgrading your internal heating system to a more efficient model. Your adaptation doesn't require ice baths or saunas. Something as simple as ending your daily shower with 30 seconds of cold water, gradually increasing to 2 minutes, activates these same metabolic pathways. This small practice can keep you burning calories even when you're in winter hibernation mode. Movement as life. Not exercise. Nordic cultures have solved the winter exercise problem by not treating movement as exercise at all. In Stockholm, cycling continues even when snow covers the streets. In Oslo, walking is preferred over driving regardless of weather. In Copenhagen, choosing stairs over elevators is so normal that elevators often feel foreign to locals. This is movement woven into the fabric of daily life rather than segregated into gym sessions. While Americans often view winter as the season when exercise becomes harder, Nordic cultures see movement as an essential part of navigating winter successfully. The metabolic impact of this approach is remarkable. Instead of sporadic intense exercise sessions followed by sedentary periods, Nordic cultures maintain consistent daily movement that keeps metabolism active throughout winter months. This stealth exercise burns more calories over time than occasional intense workouts. Think about it this way: 30 minutes of walking daily burns more calories over a month than 3-hour-long gym sessions. And it doesn't require special equipment, gym memberships, or fighting winter weather to get to a fitness facility. Your movement integration could start with identifying one daily journey you can convert to active transportation. Park farther away. Take stairs instead of elevators. Walk to the store when possible. Small, consistent movement trumps intense, occasional workouts for maintaining winter wellness. Sleep as your secret. Weapon Nordic countries have turned long winter nights into a metabolic advantage through something Americans often sacrifice: quality sleep. While shorter days might seem like a disadvantage, Nordic cultures use extended darkness to prioritize restorative sleep that regulates hunger hormones. Here's what makes this powerful. Poor sleep disrupts ghrelin and leptin, the hormones that control appetite and satiety. When these hormones are disrupted, you feel hungrier, crave more carbohydrates, and feel less satisfied after eating. Quality sleep keeps these hormones balanced, which means natural appetite regulation instead of fighting cravings all day. Nordic bedrooms during winter become sleep sanctuaries. Completely dark, cool temperatures around 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and technology-free zones that promote deep rest. They understand that sleep isn't just recovery time, it's active weight management. The cultural difference is striking. While American culture often treats sleep as time that could be spent being productive, Nordic cultures treat sleep as essential productivity for the next day. Better sleep means better decisions, more stable mood, and natural appetite regulation. Your sleep optimization starts with creating what I call a Nordic bedroom environment. Blackout curtains for complete darkness, cool temperature settings, and no screens for at least an hour before bed. This environment supports the deep sleep that prevents hormone disruption and winter overeating. Social eating. Wisdom. Nordic winter traditions include something beautiful: long, communal meals that stretch across hours, extended family gatherings, friend dinners that last well into the evening, and social eating practices that transform food from fuel into experience. This isn't just cultural tradition, it's metabolic wisdom. When meals are social and extended, eating pace naturally slows down. Your brain has time to register fullness before overeating occurs. Conversation between bites, multiple small courses, and the social pleasure of shared meals means less food is needed for satisfaction. The psychological impact goes deeper. When food is connected to relationship and community, rather than eaten alone or while distracted, the entire experience becomes more satisfying. You need less food to feel emotionally and physically fulfilled. Nordic cultures also practice something subtle but powerful. Meals end when the social experience ends, not when plates are empty. Food serves the gathering rather than the gathering serving the food. Your social eating practice could be as simple as instituting weekly communal meals. No phones, extended conversation, multiple small courses served slowly. The Nordic approach to social eating transforms food from functional fuel into meaningful experience. Creating your indoor, nature sanctuary Scandinavian homes during winter become something magical. Green sanctuaries filled with plants, natural materials, and connections to nature despite the frozen world outside. This isn't just about aesthetics, it's about managing stress hormones that promote fat storage. Research shows that connection to nature, even indoors, reduces cortisol levels significantly. Lower cortisol means better weight regulation, improved sleep, and reduced stress eating patterns. Nordic homes achieve this through abundant plants, natural materials like wood and stone, and scents that evoke forests and natural spaces. The sensory environment of your home during winter affects your metabolism more than you might realize. Harsh artificial lighting, synthetic materials, and isolated indoor environments increase stress hormones. Natural elements, even simple ones, signal safety and abundance to your nervous system. Nordic families often incorporate natural scents like pine or eucalyptus, use wooden bowls and utensils, and create cozy spaces with natural textures. These small environmental changes support metabolic health through stress reduction and nervous system regulation. Your indoor nature practice starts with adding plants to your living space, incorporating natural materials where possible, and using natural scents that connect you to outdoor environments. This environmental shift supports weight management through stress reduction rather than restriction. The integration approach. Here's where Nordic wisdom becomes most practical. These cultures developed these practices over generations, not overnight. Attempting all 8 habits simultaneously violates their core principle of lagom, finding the right balance. Choose 2 or 3 practices that resonate most strongly with your current life and implement them over 4 to 6 weeks. Nordic approaches work because they enhance life rather than demanding sacrifice. They work with your biology rather than against it. Your transformation timeline might look like this. Start with light therapy and 1 movement upgrade in weeks 1 and 2. Add strategic comfort food swaps and a daily fika ritual in weeks 3 and 4. Introduce cold exposure and sleep optimization in weeks 5 and 6. Finally, integrate social eating and indoor nature elements in weeks 7 and 8. The deepest Nordic wisdom isn't in the specific habits. It's in the fundamental approach to winter itself. Instead of fighting seasonal biology, they learned to work with it. Instead of restriction, they chose optimization. Instead of punishment, they embraced nourishment. This winter, experiment with thinking like a Scandinavian. Ask yourself, how can I nourish my body for this season? Rather than, how can I restrict myself through winter? The difference in that one question changes everything. Winter weight gain isn't inevitable. It's optional when you have the right cultural wisdom guiding your choices. The Nordic approach isn't about becoming Scandinavian. It's about learning from cultures that solved the winter wellness puzzle centuries before modern science understood why their methods worked. Which Nordic principle will you try first? The beauty of these practices is their gentleness. They're invitations to enhance your winter experience rather than demands to sacrifice your comfort. Sometimes the most profound changes come not from doing more, but from doing differently. Your winter transformation starts with a single choice to work with the season rather than against it. Nordic cultures have been proving for centuries that winter can be a time of wellness, contentment, and balance. Now it's your turn to discover what they've known all along.